possible if you can't hear me. Okay. Okay. So, hello everyone. My name is Saeed, Adewumi, Google Developer Expert, and I'll be taking you to the second section of journey, Associate Cloud Engineer journey. So today we are going to talk about as a cloud engineer, your process of setting up a cloud environment, cloud solution environment for your organization of for existing startup. So here we have that whereby we are talking about the setting up as Simba Superstore. So Simba Superstore skills we are using in this project. So anytime I say Simba Superstore, I'm talking about our use case. So last week we talked what Simba Superstore are doing. They platform, logistic and e-commerce and supply their customer. This is what Simba Superstore is. So you is as a cloud engineer, we're going to put our insight how we are going approaching this business and setting up their cloud environment. So we are talking about the organic questions, whereby some technical question, and we have to choose the best option. And thirdly, and plan. So set Simba Super environment. So we are planning to set up a Simba Super cloud environment. And to set it up, we are going to talk about cloud project and account managing billing configuration. So the role of cloud engineer. This is an hierarchy. So we have a simple superstore resource hierarchy. We have organization level, we have folder level, and we have project level. So organization level is the particular about the organization you are working with. So in this scenario, we are using Simba Superstore. So in a scenario, another specifically, you are as a cloud engineer, you will be given like so more than one work with. A banking, interbanking or intertransaction between more organizations. And as a cloud engineer, you are given the instruction to set up infrastructure. So you have to plan it accordingly. So we have folder levels. Folder level in another use, I can put it as a department. So I think that is really like more insight. So here we have operation, we have B2B supply chain, we have this and marketing, we have logistic transport. And from here you can see each of them will have its own folder project level. So more like less as a department, they can have one project as based on their use case. For instance, we have B2B supply chain whereby they have dev stage. So that is the scenario whereby the developer uses development sake. And we have staging when we're about to roll out and you're doing some production steps. And we have to be production. So this is a live project. So you can see for B2B alone, we have multiple projects set with a particular organization. So before you start approaching any project, any business, you have to understand the hierarchy, the resource hierarchy. So moving forward, we talked about the IAM, which is identity access management. So if you check here, we say setting up cloud project accounts. So setting up an account, you have to understand how IAM work, which is identity access management. So for a simple store, understand what is the business requirement, what is the technical requirement. So here we have a scenario where we want to assign an access to a data analyst, and we have who, which is data analyst, we have can do what. So what this data analyst can do, view data and run query. So this is the access we are assigned to this view data and run query. And on which resources are they going to be working is BigQuery. So as a cloud engineer, you expect to assign minimum access to your users. So if someone is a developer, front-end developer, just assign only the resources they need. As a backend, if someone any role, just give them minimum access. And this is make sure your system is functioning so that another person is not going to alter another user's access or operation. So that's the purpose of identity access role. So we have in Google Cloud observability. So very important. So let's say for instance you have a lot of infrastructure going on the platform and you want to be monitoring it. So monitoring is a key part because for developer, if your project is crashing, you can easily use these tools to track what is going on. Hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear.
Hear
No, we
me?
can hear you. We can hear you. Please go on.
Okay, thank you. So we have the Google Cloud whereby we are using some tools to monitor and know what system who is performing observation. So we have a system called cloud monitoring, but under the cloud services flexible providing cloud trace, we have tracking. So all what you as a engineer you expect to deploy an application you are tracking. So you have scoping project, this is the project they are scoping, this is the monitor project. So here we have this whereby we are trying to make sure that everything is going and we have what we are using monitoring project to track that. So for the production, you can see here uh, project B2B stages monitoring from the development stage and B2B stage monitoring production. So this they have to pass from this to this, which is the development have to be the staging, and from the staging we have to move to production. So anything that is going on, you have Google Cloud visibility to track what is going on in the application. So another thing is simple faster billing account. So billing is a very important thing in setting up your infrastructure, especially as a startup or a small businesses, because some maybe start as a cloud engineer, you have to make sure that the infrastructure you are setting up budget or the financial plan. So for we have earlier we talked about the organization folder level, whereby they have a lot of project, a lot of folder. So in this scenario, we have for the finance department, which creates each business, each department, which is for each billing. So you're setting each billing account for project. So you can see here we have the operational billing account setting up for the project level, which is the B2B staging and product. So this have to show like this operation they create the project and they are paying for particular info. As a cloud engineer, I expect to set up accordingly. So you set up the plant, then you attach it to a particular project, and you expect to show that you are your project infrastructure match what your billing account is using. So it's calling billing calculator, which I'm going to show you at the end of this section, whereby you can be able to estimate your budget. You are trying to use of you're trying to estimate the budget infrastructure you are trying to use before you start the project. So that's how the billing account works. So you create a billing account and you attach it to your project. And some diagnostic question whereby before diagnostic question, let me try and share insights of what is your role. Firstly, you have to understand if you are setting up your project and accounts, you have to create a resources hierarchy. A good idea to consult the business owner or the organization or the stakeholders running the project to get more information about how you are going to set up your infrastructure, how they work. You have to handle their partnership, maybe their way, what is the role so that you can set up and migrate their job. Applying organization policy. So organization policy are just some rules or protocol for the organization to make sure that the project the department are following it. A good example is the billing organization policy. Maybe the billing have to be per project. This will not make sure that there's a net of misuse of it. So grant member IMO within the project. So you have a scenario, we have a whereby we have different multiple departments. So if you are running a project, let's say we have a front end, we have a back end, we have a DevOps in our project. So the best thing we have to do is create a folder, create a grouping for them. Let's say we have a front end, a grouping front end, and attach the my resources project. So any backend, sorry, any front end members, then you have them on group, not assigning them individually. So because that is stressful at the same time, it's not efficient enough because anybody that is joining, meaning you create another role for them. But if you are doing a grouping, you create a project, just add them into that grouping, and you have the same access to it. So manage user and group cloud identity automated. So there are some scenarios whereby um, you are a divine role, like you have after any year they want to do an auditing on your platform. So someone what do you want to ask audit? So you can use account which just view it. So this only give them just access to view your infrastructure, but they will not able to do anything more than that. So that is users and grouping identity. I have talked about the grouping, whereby just group a set of people based and assign access to them. And you can use this access to access your infrastructure resources. Enable APIs within the project. At times you are giving access to developers, you can try so that they can able to communicate application. So providing and setting up a product in Google Cloud. So this is just setting up a monitoring tools for your project so that you can know who perform some action and what role did you have as benefit of using Google Cloud Observability. Assessing quotas and requesting increase. So if you are setting up your infrastructure, you spend minimum first for the sake of the resources, not to be misused. Also for security purpose. So you are expect to users is expected to do the increasing in terms of storage, in terms of infrastructure. So you expect to assign minimum based on the project requirement. And whenever the need to increase, you can just set it up for them. You can increase their quotas and increase their accessibility. We have a question here which says Stella is about a new team. So this question we are asked. So focus on accounting. So Stella is a member of a team, a company who has put in charge of monitoring VM instance in the organization. So Stella is a new member of a team and he was given the access to monitor virtual machine instances in the company, in the organization. Stella will need to require permission to perform this role. So we have given the role of Stella that is just monitoring the VM instance. So definitely Stella will be a VM viewer instance. So here we have assign Stella role slash compute viewer role. So this is two because it's a team. So this means if we had another person to this project, we have to create another team. So this is not going right because we have to make sure that they are team. So create a group. So C is to be a best option, which says create a Google group. So create a Google organization. So this group is any new member that is coming, like Stella, will be added to this group and bind the group to a role and compute viewer. So this complete the viewer means you can just in charge of monitoring the VM instance. So this is the best option. So the second one says Stella assign Stella get. So instant does get is just for permission to get the list of information, more information, not as a viewer. So there are different things entirely. So this as a computer is quite different from viewer. So viewer is more like monitoring what is going on in the application, whereby this compute instance is just to get the list of instances in your project. So this is the difference. So and yeah, this is the current assignment. You create a group and you add the individual in your group project and can assign them to the particular resources or the group of resources. So identity and access management go and what do and on which resources they can operate. So these are the hierarchy for we have how are the resources organized in Google Cloud. Firstly, we have organization, we have folder. So this is from organization, is projects, resources folder. If you come down here, we have this is the architecture they are talking about, organization folder, projects, then resources. So we are following the same thing here. So this flow says organization, projects, resources folder. So organization folder. So this organization folder stands like more of like a department, and we have projects. So we create a project under the folder, then we create a resources under the project. So this is the right flow, and we have organization folder, project, resources, and this another one says on which resources user gets role specific item in the hierarchy. So we have this same hierarchy, user gets role. So a user gets role based on the resources. So we have example.com, which is the organization. We have different departments, which is boost chef, static asset, and stream injection. And we have different resources. We have a computer, we have app engine, we have cloud storage. And for static access, because we are just uploading access there, we have cloud storage alone. And for streaming, we have streaming injection tools, which are Pub and Sub and BigQuery. So these are they have some resources. So these are the resources. These are the projects. We have projects here. We have the resources, and these are the instances that are being created. So here we say what Google Cloud project attribute that can be changed. So you can change your projects. You change your project name. What Google project can you can change your project name. So decided because you can, when some we have this project ID, you can edit when you are creating, but after you create your project, you can change. And project number is ID assigned by Google, which is automatic. You can't change it. It's being given by Google Cloud, but project name you can edit your project name and change it. But project ID is the process will create a project, you can edit it. So the second one says, we have another question here which says, Jenny will objects in Google Cloud Storage for Simba. She needs to have access to the proper permission for every project across the organization. Jenny has need to manage objects in a Google Cloud Storage for Simba Superstore, and he needs to have this as every project across. So this is not a same use just in, and most of the time it's advisable to create the project based on the role. So it's changing the role storage object creator on every project. This is not really correct because it means you have to wait for every project. And one nice thing about as cloud engineer, you have to do it individually. So to create as create a simple as able to use it all based on the requirement. So here the best create for organization level and assign just basic this role. So this should be the so you should add a journey to the group that has the role storage. So uh role storage.subject admin role assigned at the organization level, because we need the organization on all every project, it's on every project, and we are not giving him excessive access, which is role slash editor. Role slash editor means this journey can have access to all the projects, but doing this just storage.objects admin give access to only storage. So this is the solution. So we have resources hierarchy level, define trust and boundary. So as a cloud engineer, you are expected to assign accordingly to the organization structure. Group your resources into your organization structure. So level of the hierarchy provides boundary and resources isolation. So here we have the architecture. This is the you can see further as I've said earlier, we have departments. So firm always stand for department at times. We have team, so you can group them it's in B. You can create they are working on from team. We have product one, product two, and create a project for them, test and development, products project and test project. We are assigning resources for it. So this create a trust between the organization, between the development team, the stakeholders, because I know that if you set this platform right, team B have access to the infrastructure of team A. So these are the rules and ethics as a cloud engineer you have to make sure you perform. And before you start any project, make sure you understand how the system works. We have another question here says, you need to add new group of employees in where superstar production environment. You need to consider Google recommendation of use this privilege. So these rules is, as said earlier, talking about using giving me to the users on the platform. So this one says we have option here says grant the most restricted basic role to the most surface predefined or custom role as necessary. So this is wrong because basic somehow wide because we have four roles. We have basic edit owner and viewer. So giving the basic role to the new employees uh, somehow uh, unrealistic. So we have B, which says predefined and custom rule that provide necessary permission, grant basic rule only when. So you have to provide a minimum on what they need. Not expect to assign a basic rule or any bigger role for the group because we have more access. So if someone is a front developer, just assign role of front end developer. If they are back end developer, just assign the role of back end developer. So, and the third one say grant the least restrictive basic rule to most service. So this if you assign the least restrictive for basic rule, they are not able to perform. So that maybe Google recommended. And we have grant customized role to individual. Because here they were being told that it's a new group. So assign individual is not efficient and is very stressing because many you have to create for every individual joining the group. And so here we have IM collection of related permission. So we have different of role we can assign to users as a cloud engineer on the platform. We have basic are the role defined by Google. We have predefined has some role that's defined based on the resources, and we have custom role are the role that's been created by the users, especially the cloud engineer or the project owner. So basic has wide access. Predefined is just based on the resources. Maybe you want to assign based on the products. And we also can see here we have computing, we have storage, we have serverless. So this is just customized and it's do. And here we have so this is an example the what which took permission we did receive. So they are talking about which permission would you receive. So let us go to the question. Says the operational department and senior supervisor want to provide the manager access to information about VM. So definitely they want to get information about the VM without allowing them to make changes that will affect the state. You assign them this compute engine viewer role. So checking here, what is the viewer role they are able to get? We have list. List means you have to list this. This is a predefined role, by the way. So this is a predefined role. So you are getting compose image list, which is going to get them the list of the information. We have get, which is going to be getting the specific instance we are working with, and we have create, which is going to create an instance. We have set IAM, which is more of like access, and we have update. So all these three, four is only that is to be. Sorry, all these three is going to be the you have to change the state, because if you are creating, it will change the state. If you are setting another access, it will change the state, and if you are updating, it will change the state. So these two access, which is list and get. So list we get all the compute virtual machine system, and so we get the all the instance in your project, and get we get more information about each instance. So that is why we are choosing these two. So this is the two permission you are assigned to as a uh, as a viewer role for this particular uh, operation. So moving forward, we have different courses that you can help you. So if you go through these courses, the IAM is very, very important, because this is the root for security of your infrastructure. This is the root for management of your platform. If you are setting up an IAM, it's very sensitive things to do whenever you are even taking your certification, because this is going to be testing how you understand the cloud infrastructure and cloud operation. So we have three courses here saying the core infrastructure. We have architecture with Google Cloud Computing Engine. We have infrastructure core services. So these are the core courses, and we have these key badges here too. We have the documentation. You can go through it. And so this documentation talked about the high end and some ethics role you have to perform as a cloud engineer. So managing billing configuration. So these are the steps to set up your managing billing. Create one or more billing account, link project to a billing account, establish billing budget and alert, setting up a billing export. So this question, so let me explain this. Whenever you are setting up a project, we talked about earlier setting up based on the department or based on the project owner. So you are expected to create billing and assign it to a particular project. And also, there are some tools that help you to monitor what is going on in your billing project. So this is the billing alert, whereby you can, let's say you budget $25 for your charges. You can set a threshold of 10. So anytime your budget reach the amount, you will get a notification. So this will give you more insight and prepare your project, prepare your billing budget, and set up billing export, so you can export maybe to present it to the project owner or your department, present it for audit. So this is the purpose of setting up billing export. And we have another question here, is how a billing account apply to the project in Google Cloud. So cloud billing to pay for usage cost in Google Cloud project and Google Cloud storage. A project and its resources can be tied to one or more than one billing account. A billing account can link to one or more projects. I don't know, maybe someone can, so can someone give me, someone that's following, can you give me answer to this? Am I with you? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
yes, yes, we hear you. Alexandra, you are much familiar.
Um,
Okay, please, or Kate. I know, are you sure that you know this? So let's think which is correct answers.
Okay, let me present. We are having a billing accounts applied to projects, Google Cloud. So what is the best option here? So setting up Google Cloud to pay for usage costs in Google Project and Google Google Workspace account. This is not possible. Actually, this is not possible because one account is 1 billion, one project to 1 billion account. So, but you can assign 1 billion account to one or more projects, and we have. So let me see the option. Do you have any C and D? Okay, a project and its resources. A project and its resources can be tied to 1 billion accounts. Yeah. So you're right. So you are right because you can only have a project linked with 1 billion accounts, but uh, you can't have one project linked to multiple billion accounts. You can only have one project linked to 1 billion account, and this, which is the correct part, is a billion account can be linked to one or more projects. So you can have uh, 4 projects linked to a billion account, and you have a project and it also can only be tied to 1 billion account. So you can only tie a project to 1 billion account. So you are right. Thank you very much. And we have another question here talking about the billing. So it says, let me present so to be clear. So Lena is the billing administrator for the project associated with Simba e-commerce application. Jeff, the marketing department, lead want to receive email related to the budget alert. Jeffrey should have access to no billing information. So here we have Ross. Folenia is a billing editor for the project associated with Simba Superstore e-commerce. So the billing associate, and we have the market want to receive email related to budget alert. So, but we don't want Jeffrey should have access to the billing account. So mostly we just set up like a use cloud monitoring to change the budget alert photo no. So this should be or so use Google Cloud monitoring channel to send Jeffrey an alert, email alert. So this pops up. So B, using cloud monitoring notification to send Jeffrey an email alert. So we don't want the marketing, they don't want the marketing to have any information about the billing information to have access, just to send them email. So we use cloud monitoring because we talked about the role of cloud monitoring just to manage notification and see what is going on in your infrastructure. So the use of cloud monitoring notification channel to send Jeffrey an email alert. So this is not okay because you can't change. Changing does not have anything to do to sending of email. We have this Steve says add Jeffrey and left to budget scope. So we say this only violate it because Jeffrey should have access to no additional billing information. So we can't add because meaning we are giving the billing administrator to both of them, which is violate the action, and sending alert that Jeffrey is subscribed to. So it's for operation use one. So the best option is B. Um, yeah, so this B. So now we have another course talking about billing configuration. This is very sensitive thing. It's very important because you are not expected to set above the budget, so you have to understand how to set your billing, how to set up an alert, how to make sure that the right person is getting the right billing information. Um, Moving forward, so we have other. Okay, I have something. I want to ask some after the meeting. Okay. Okay. So no problem. Which Google Cloud allow for script action? So this is for learner check. So let's see which of these allow which Google Google Cloud interface allow for scripts action in a set of command line executable. So last week, if you join on the last section, I talked about different way you can access your Google Cloud infrastructure. So the Google, we have the first Cloud console whereby you can able to log the web using web browser and be able to access, able to create, deploy some basic things. So this is, we use Google Console. We have Cloud Shell, which is perfectly for cloud interface scripting command line. So we have Cloud Shell, which is command line. So I think the best answer is B. And we have Cloud Mobile App. So Cloud Mobile App is used just for monitoring. So it's where you be seeing the report of what's going on in the application. And we have REST API whereby you can able to trigger your cloud infrastructure through the API. But for this scenario, it's a cloud shell, which is for command line executable scripts. So this is command line, use cloud shell anytime you are using a prompt like a standard stuff use command line, we use cloud shell scenario. Okay, so it's a cloud shell. So it says, what is the code that's giving you permission to change sourcing state? Uh, this for here we have owner, which is the biggest one. Administrator, we have the viewer, we have uh, editor, so it should be editor. Why? Because editor is the lowest. So the difference owner and administrator are almost the same because the owner can create another uh, administrator can create another owner, but an editor is just to change the infrastructure alone, but can't able to do other things. So, but viewer can change states. Viewer can create, edit, or update any resources just to view. So that's the rules. Just I think this is the end of the class, and we are able to say like an QR code to get some. I mean, it's still active, but this is a this tutorial, and also I promised to talk about how you can able to do some able to do your estimates whenever you are starting your whenever you want to set up your infrastructure. So we have billing cloud billing calculator. So Google Cloud Billing Calculator. So this you use to do your estimation. So let's say you want structure, you can able to select. So let's assume I want to set up an cloud. I want to set up a cloud MySQL, and I can do my configuration. So how many instance, how many you can see this the amount. This is the amount I'm going to pay by end of the month or end of. So I can customize it here. So enterprise plus I can choose. So it's more expensive. So I can choose the region. So these are the cheapest region. You can see we have low cost carbon. So these are the cheapest platform you can use if you are using. So yes, because of the latency, because location affects your latency of your application, it's better to choose the closest latency. So I can choose the based on the infrastructure. I can choose the infrastructure usage. I can reduce it. I can reduce. You can see it coming down here, and I have choose the number of CPU I want to use, and you can see the charges. I can use this. So the benefit of this is able to give you the cost in your billing and client or your startup or your anybody you are working with to give more the estimate end of the month estimate charges, and you can able to share or you download it. So Google gives you this opportunity to make sure to do estimate, and you can add more. You can add more. Let's say I want to add my compute engine or I want to add the storage. I can add more, and I can do my configuration. So these are the benefits of using this infrastructure for our development. So this is give you more insight about your billing. So it's very important if you are using this type of tools to make sure that you get the not precise but rough estimate of your billing monthly billing. So thank you very much.
Uh,
Um,
so thank you for your talk. Yes, I have few questions. Uh, First question from Balarameswara, if I correct pronounce. Where did you learn this and how? But it depends on what goal do you have. And for example, for now, you are at event series, how to get certificate from Google, associate cloud engineer, to become associate cloud engineer in future. Or
so, so there's that's one nice thing about Google Cloud, using Google Cloud for your training. We have a lot of infrastructure provided. I mean, a lot of community, a lot of resources provided for free. So let me show you one. You can see we have Google Skill Boots. I think they have changed to Skill Boots. Uh, so this is the platform you can for free. All you have to do is just up your account. Let me share. So
and for now, for example, arcade game, and if you start play this game, you will even get points, credits, and at the end, you can get gifts from Google. So it's based
yes, yes, exactly.
on, yes, arcade game. You
Yeah,
can search how to, yes. Yeah, a lot
yeah,
free.
exactly.
Don't buy anything. There
So
are
if you are setting up the first time, there's a free version. If you are setting up the regular, Google is giving to if you are setting up infrastructure. So um, just go to console, just go to console. So all you have to do is just activate your account. You will say first time users. So okay, let me say uh, try Google Cloud. So you can able to see functionality. Okay, sorry. So here we have free trial, which is $300. You can able to set up your basic infrastructure. You have a free trial. So just set up your infrastructure. You'll be given $300 for your infrastructure for starting time, and you can use this to do some. But if you are doing it for your projects, for your if you're coming up and maybe you're trying to explore your real life project, you can use this scenario to set up your infrastructure. But if you just want to use it for learning, I will advise you just use this platform to learn or use the what's it called? Okay, yeah, so you can able to use this the free you can be able to use this learning because they will set up a temporary development environment for you whereby you can able to use it for your training and can able to understand. Setting up a real life project, Google still give you for that to be able to use for practice. Can I get your superiors due to already some get previous to getting more? Yeah. Can I get your reference for your superior? I don't really understand the
It's
question,
for clear
Charlie.
for me also. Everything you can do by yourself. You don't need anything from our side. And be just believe me, if you start study practice with labs, you get different pages, finish different courses, everything by free. And after will be a lot pages and your Google developer profile.
Okay.
Such events we can just share our knowledge, share our links, free resources, nothing more. We can't check
So I think
some.
another question is it to reserve for the rest of the weeks? Yes, yes. You have to reserve. You have to reserve for the rest of the week so that you can able to get the notification and able to join next next weeks. Another thing is for the someone that is asking for badges, there's a lot of, it's not only lab alone, we have videos, you can able to watch videos, so just it's straightforward although if you have any issue, we have a Discord whereby you can post your any challenges and you can look into it and able to work with you to get it solved actually. So I think if that helps.